Welcome back for more Book Fables. Last time, we got the submarine from the Termite Kingdom thanks to the King and Queen's graces, and now we have come to explore that there's a new building here at the Bugnaria store, marketplace, cooking place. So let's go in and explore what this is all about because, ooh, this is a nice screen thing. What is this? Flyer journey. I'll just go get that. So yeah, last time, oh this is bringing back memories from, was it middle school? I think middle school was when that was happening. So I'm sure everyone like kind of knows the legend of Flappy Bird. Man, that was gone from the from kind of the internet for a long time. No one even references it. It's not even on memes, isn't it? Huh? Kind of interesting of that being kind of like a big thing. I don't know. I still remember like downloading one of the copies because I remember it was like out. It became super popular or something. Like it was well known. But then like they took it down. But people who still had the app could still play it, so it became like this sort of foreign thing or something. It was definitely a weird time, but. Then like eventually, I think it was because of the lawsuit it was taken down, but I still remember those times. Like, it was definitely, or maybe it was elementary school. Maybe it was a lot younger than that. I don't know. Man, but yeah, this is kind of similar to it. I like the music too. I missed that flower. Oh well. I'm not gonna get a combo anymore. Oh well. Either way. I remember downloading some of the raps around high school just to keep me occupied when I was bored. That was of course before I did drawing, and then I just started drawing in class instead. Well, for the last 2 years I had class anyway, because by the time I wanted to draw, you know, the time I did drawing and artistic stuff, school's almost over, and yeah, it just kind of sucked. Oh well. I still remember like downloading oh man, I had a class that we downloaded like Clash Royale, that one mobile game. I really liked it, but I hated like the mechanics used to prevent you from winning all the time. Like I felt like, and I think this was confirmed that like yeah, the game will start like putting you up against people that like just legitimately have an advantage over you. It instantly ran out at that moment. So it was really hard to keep playing and everything, and after that point, it was just like, after that point, it was just kind of hard to play. I like the mechanics. I like the little things like putting in the edge or having just enough range, or doing this and that to skillfully outsmart your opponent a little bit. You know, that kind of stuff. I do kind of miss it, but there is a reason why I stopped playing after all. When I think about the bad stuff I had to deal with because of it, then it's just like, yeah, I'm kind of okay with not doing that anymore. I can't really think of any other mobile games that got my attention for that long, though. I mean, there were, let's see, there was one mobile game there were a few gacha games I played. But I can't remember, other than Clash Royale, maybe Clash of Clans in general too, I can't really think of another mobile game I've stuck to for so long. There are a ton of anime games I would just play off and on with. Like, I'd play it, like, this is fine, and then, like, uninstall it, like, minutes later. I downloaded the Konosuba mobile game too, and I liked it a little bit, but again, it just didn't keep my interest enough to really keep playing, especially if it's gacha. At a point, it'll just feel like busy work, you know? Like, why can't there be good anime games? I know there's a few. I know there's definitely, like, a lot of good, like, anime-themed games, like RPGs and stuff, but I want it to not be RPG, you know? I want it to be, like, some platform or something. Some cool, like, multiplayer online thing, or, like, some... I don't know. Of course, I'm saying this as I'm playing an RPG, technically, with Book Fables and everything. But, I mean, there has to be something out there that's, like, anime-related that I can play with friends, like, there's, like, not like gacha, or, like, that limited edition stuff. I hate that stuff so much. Oh, it's a limited edition. You gotta go fast. It's like, come on, just let me purchase it. Just let me take my time. We don't have we don't have easy lives. We have busy lives. Technically, I don't have really job. That's why I'm able to do recording and streaming and drawing and all that kind of stuff. But even still, that takes up time to do free stuff. When I buy a game, one of my thoughts in the back of my head is, am I able to stream this? It's like, I don't know, I recently got. Oh, you can defeat those things with invincibility. That's interesting. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah. I bought an Anime Soda Online game just for the hell of it. It was like $5, $7, $8. It was $8. It was $8, and I just bought it just for the sake of it. Just it's positive reviewed. I want a game that's anime-ish that has some multiplayer stuff. Even though I think it's not going to be multiplayer stuff. It's not going to be. Oh no, it is maybe open world. I don't know. Maybe it's a gem of a game, but I keep thinking of games I'll buy to stream. I have so many other games I have yet to play. I have Alex 2 in the works, some RPG Maker games, I have Enroll and The Endless Empty to play. Those games are stuff that I'm playing mainly because of Amori, the RPG Maker games. I heard Enroll is like Amori, and someone wants me to play Endless Empty. And I do love RPG Maker games. I do like how creative people get and the stories people put in them. So I thought it'd be interesting to give it a whirl, even if I think both are in the realms of horror. I also have this big RPG called Tales of Hesperia or something like that. Also, I did bought the Master Chief Collection just mainly to play with a friend play multiplayer with. So that's something interesting to try out eventually. How does the wing get me? If possible. Aside from that, I also have I bought the Soda Online game. I have Sonic Mania. I bought that was on sale. It was like $3. That was a steal. I'm taking that. Ah man. And recently as well, I bought WarioWare Get It Together. Because I do love WarioWare a lot, but... So what I have is a list of all these games, and I'm playing them very slowly. I'm going through all this so unbelievably slow. I really should get to playing them, but it's hard to force myself to. Back then, I remember hearing some people. I don't know who they were though. I think it was TRG, those guys, or maybe it was some other podcast person. I forgot who. But it was someone on the internet that I was watching a video saying that when you're now scheduling to play games, it no longer feels like you're really having that much fun. It feels like more of a task, You're scheduling, you're planning when, you're planning how much you can play, because you're already planning what you're going to do after. It doesn't feel like a fun thing anymore, And it really... I didn't understand that until I started doing these things. Even though I don't have a job even. It's not the job that got me, it's the fact that I just started to work on projects, starting to do drawing, starting to draw, starting to stream, starting to record bug fables, Could have made that. Could have made that. 44 tokens, very nice. But yeah, there is so much I have to work on now, and sometimes it does feel overwhelming. Sometimes I feel like I want to do nothing. But even when I want to do nothing, and playing games is also a hassle a little bit, because now my mind considers playing games a part of the workflow. Because if I play games for recording and I play games for stream. And I want to also make videos talking about games too, so that's gonna add in more. It's starting to turn this entertainment into a chore thing. And I used to play a ton of games for hours on end back then. Let me tell you, God, I would spend 7 to 8 hours a day playing a game. That's why I was so all the games were finished. I wanted more. There was not much to do. I kept playing Team Fortress 2. That was a mistake over here. I kept doing that, and eventually it died down. Eventually, like, eventually I started to calm down and play games less, down to like 2 to 3 hours to work on like drawing or some other thing, recording. I think back then I was recording Super Mario Galaxy 2. That one was done fast. Like Bug Fables here, I think. Oh my god. I can't wait for Bug Fables to be done, you know? Even though I take a long time actually like working on it, it is something that's like, it is hard to go back to. And I do wish for it to end. I do want to finish this game and talk about all the secret and special stuff about it, but it is also pretty hard at the same time. I'm not a Mr. You know, some guy on the internet that has been doing this for forever and it's like their job. I'm doing this more for fun. It's something I always wanted to do. Something since like 12 and 13. Something I always thought of. I ended up talking to myself and just playing games, pretending I was already recording and stuff. So now I got to live that dream finally. And even if it's not much of a big dream, it was something I found entertaining for myself. I should have just avoided that. Something about the nature of being so alone, but being able to just play a game and feel like you're talking to hundreds definitely made it more bearable, you know? Something just so simple, you know? A gameplay loop that's just, yeah. I don't know if I ever mentioned like the kind of goal I ever wanted to reach with this kind of stuff, so I always thought, at first when I did Mario Galaxy, it was just games that I owned, but that as well, I also played, you know, One Shot and a ton of other great indie games, and small community games that like, there's small games that not a lot of people know, like Patapon and Klonoa, and I do want to let's play those. I'm not going to be so much of a secret, no one cares, except for you, that one person that comments on every video. You are the major MVP here. I want to be... If I had a choice in what I'm going to be known for, and this is the internet, okay? You're not choosing who you're known for, you know? When it comes to the internet, you either become popular because of a meme, or it's some other stupid reason, you know? Actually, I was playing... Oops, too far. I shouldn't have gotten that. I was in a tournament, actually. This game called Windjammer is really fun. Even though I wasn't really any good at it, for sure, there was a tournament that Charity Tables wanted me to enter in, and so I did. You know, the game's fun. Maybe you know, something can happen after it, but I definitely doubt that I would be able to win anywhere. And of course, I got destroyed. But one match was actually being streamed. So it was really cool to have like these guys actually see, you know, who I am for the first time and being like, I didn't enter score one goal on this person that was like supposedly really high ranking, and they were just like, oh, who is this person? And it was like, it had a confidence boost, you know. Being noticed does have a confidence boost, even if it's not what I intended. I didn't even anticipate. I didn't even want to be on stream, but yet they DM'd me saying like, "Hey, you were on stream, you know," and it was just like, "Oh, really?" And it put a smile on their face, you know. If there's one thing I could be known for, that would be great. I would like to be known for being someone that plays a lot of these like small games, you know, not as major popular or as like AAA company, you know. Games that people should really play more. Kind of like a Nitro Rad deal. If you know, like, the channel Nitro Rad, he covers a ton of, like, small B-grade indie games, that kind of stuff. And I want to do that same thing, too, but for Let's Plays, because I've watched it kind of for years as a child, and, like, that's something I always wanted to do. But to combine these two things with playing One Shot and knowing that the small games entered a community that I love, and, being able to, you know, express the small structure, you know. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's showing people something they never knew, something they never really seen before. Even if it's hard, because the hard part about doing that is no one will watch it because they don't recognize it. I think Nitro had even mentioned this, that when he made a video that like almost no one knew, there was barely any views on it. There was so little views on it that it made sense because, you know, it's a game not a lot of people know about, and it's maybe weird to some people, you know? Sometimes doing the unpopular thing, you know, hurts back, even if it's a really good thing. It's strange, you know? Of course, though, once you... The funny thing, and I don't know if anyone else has this effect, when you see a game for the first time, and you think, wow, I never heard that game before, and then you start to see it everywhere, you know? Have you ever had that feeling where you never knew something existed, but then when you now knew its existence, you see it everywhere? It's kind of like, it's just kind of old, but it's kind of like that Grand Theft Auto thing where you find a rare car, and now it appears everywhere. How did I get that much bonus points? It's something that's just kind of silly that I keep thinking about. It sucks, but, you know, that's just the nature of the people, I guess. The nature of the people being that they hate... I don't know. 25. Oh, 200 now, huh? I need to get more water soon. Yeah. You know, speaking of that, you ever find it weird? Have you ever been in a situation where you hated the big communities, you know, Undertale, Five Nights at Freddy's back then, and you want to find... That was my bad. That's what I get for talking about those games. That you wish to be part of a small community, because once the community gets too big, it's like, it no longer feels that special. That kind of hipster mentality, I guess. I do know someone that has that mentality kind of speak, that it's like, it's no longer good because everyone's talking about it or something like that, you know? One thing that I argue against that is that when it comes to any community, it has to grow. If you love something, you want to share it. And if that sharing becomes everyone now knows it, then you just have to accept that that's just, you know, you have to feel glad. Now everyone knows it. Now this game is being recognized for what it is, you know? You kind of have to accept that, you know? I would be elated if if I actually lived. I'm doing horrible now. I would be so happy if One Shot became popular, you know? One Shot became like this cult classic, as popular as Undertale, like that kind of stuff. It would ruin that like small community that I had with it when I first found it out, you know, getting in touch, talking a little bit with the people that made it, getting that one shine, the design that has the artwork and stuff like that. But I would be happy knowing that the game is now being recognized for its strength, and the developers would get a ton of recognition for it, because they certainly deserve it. Even though I think Night Margin is pretty well known around the community, at least from what I see. I mean, she has a Hand in Time reference. One of the paint jobs is called Margin of the Night. That's a Night Margin reference. So yeah, it would be great. That's windy outside. The best way to find these secret communities is really just to find a game that isn't really seen as much. Like, go into Steam or some RPG Maker community. Maybe not RPG Maker. Go to Steam and look for a game that probably doesn't have that much reviews, and see if you like it, you know? The thing with finding a community that you don't know you like is, first you have to actually expand your mind, you know? You have to look through a ton of games and see which one catches your interest to the point where you want to, you know, get in touch with this community. Because a lot of games, obviously, that have short communities probably aren't that great to begin with. Like, or the genre is kind of hard to be appealing. For example, there's a community known as, there's a game called Satisfactory, and it's still a work in progress, but it's like released in beta or alpha or something. It's fully playable, but there's definitely missing features. There's not a big story. There's not really that much to like expand towards, but it is a pretty addicting game if you definitely have some friends to help out, to not do everything yourself. So that community, it's big. It is big, you know, for thousands, 10,000 players. I don't know what's the actual player count is. It's by the like number wise, people wise, it is certainly big. Like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. That's not small. You know, that's a lot of people. But the community, the people that actually go into the Discords and the Twitters, those are also smaller people. Now you make your own group, and you like stream or record, or like you just make play sessions with these random people, and now you have your own little community based on this game. Because, you know, the amount of people, there's always barrier entries, and I couldn't press A and my finger fell asleep. Damn. But yeah, like, if you do that kind of stuff, you'll find your own small community. Maybe you could find someone that's already been doing it, and you could just join in, you know? I was thinking for a long time, if I were to make a community around my my town, I would like make room in the garage, and then set up a setup where I would invite people to play Toho Spell Bubble. Or some other game. So just switch games so we can play multiplayer and like do local tournaments. Even if my town is like in the middle of nowhere in the country, it's still something that's like, I want to have friends, but I don't want to go to college because that's a hassle. Like, not a lot of people would really go to college to make friends. But if I like make a tournament and I try to see if I can put posters and online notes and that kind of stuff, would people join? Because now they're joining for fun, you know. Their intention is to be in a tournament, right? Can I find my own local community like that? It's something that I really want to try to do. And it's super hard for someone who's been, you know, a shut-in for years. Like, I've been a shut-in, or as people who have played Amori, a Hikikomori for a long while. And it's pretty difficult to just go and be like, alright, I'm gonna make a social hangout for people I never knew about. It is difficult, especially for strangers. Now, I did go on a trip with people I never met IRL, but I knew them in Discord and re-seed and talked there a lot. So I knew their personalities and I seen pictures of them and everything. But for just random strangers, it is hard. It is definitely hard, especially if not all of them are, you know, the same age as me. And now, you know, I signed up for this. I got an app that has like local meetups and stuff. I got one for this like board game thing, but the people that are joining, it's like only 4 people, are very, very much older than I am. So it's just like, this isn't even my crowd. This isn't the people I'm even in. So it's hard to hear, but in Amori, Kel's and Hiro's mother is right. The older you get, the harder it is to make friends, and that is such a bleak outlook. I think, but I don't know if it's like harder to make friends. I think it's harder for your choice of friends, because there's a difference there, you know? It's harder to make friends that is around your age group that has similar interests, but it's not hard to meet people. If you can set up a invite in or a virtual meetup or something around like the place you live, it's possible to do that kind of stuff then, you know? It's not hard to make friends. I think it's just hard to find the people that are compatible to do that with, you know? You can be easy friends with people, you know? You can just be like, oh, you like board games? I like board games. Let's touch the roof and die immediately. But you know, to actually have someone that like likes anime as much as you do, or likes this game as much as you do, that's a little more specific. Like, I imagine if I were to go to that board game event or host a Switch tournament, finding people that are actually willing to like, that also like anime or indie games, or, you know, goes into the rabbit hole as deep as I do, is kind of hard. But again, you have to consider the barrier to entry. For people, if I were to set up a Switch tournament for Touhou's Bell Bubble, there's a few barriers to entry there. One is they have to own a Switch or a controller for the Switch. So they have to be at least affiliated with games. That's one barrier to entry. They could just see like, it's a Switch tournament, I'm going to join. The second barrier to entry is, does the game interest them? If they never heard of Puzzle Bobble, or they don't even know what the game is, they might not even want to go, even if they do have a Switch. Like, imagine they look at it, it's just like, huh, it's some anime game. I guess it's like this puzzle game, but it's not Smash, so I'm not joining. That's the second barrier to entry. The third barrier to entry is that if they even have the time and power to go to my place to do that tournament with, to spend their time, that's 3 barrier to entries in like a small, well, small-ish town, you know. That's it's interesting, you know. But it's still possible. If I can still make it happen, you know. I'm not so focused on the success, whether or not that would be able to make friends. I'm just focused on if it would even... If one person shows up, if one person just shows up, just one, then all of that would be worth it, you know? Because at least one person was there. Even if they don't stay for that long, you know? Even if they don't stay for that long, maybe even they only get there for a few minutes, it would still be a few matches there that would be worth, you know? And I think that excitement gets me a lot for wanting to make things work, and I think that's like what makes me want to do these kind of things. But more to, I want to have fun. I want to be with friends. I want to have this community, because I still think back to the time I decided to do Splatoon competitive ship, and I got a team, and we like, you know, in the afternoon played a ton of Splatoon matches, trying to grow as a team. I wonder where they are now. I never kept contact with them, which sucked. But yeah. I wonder... My name back then was Cody Diamond. I wonder if they still would recognize me if I was named CodyYuki now. I wish someday I could meet them again. Thank them, because they changed my life a lot. Man. Got to get all that thrown out. Alright. What was I doing again? Oh shoot! I was recording Bug Face.